Hi everyone, today I'll give you a walk around the concept of big data. In this presentation, I'll explain you what is big data, what are the problems of big data, and how Hadoop has solved these problems, why industry should go for big data, why big data is important, etc. will be covered in this PPT. In this slide, big data is written inside the cloud, which represents the fact that everybody in this world is thinking about the big data as a solution. What is big data? Big data is a term applied to data sets whose size is beyond the ability of a common use software tools to capture, manage, and process the data within a tolerable elapsed time. Big data sizes are a constantly moving target, currently ranging from a few dozen terabytes to many petabytes of data in a single set. For example, Twitter generates 12 plus terabytes of data per day, Google generates 25 petabytes of per day, and Facebook generates 500 terabytes of data per day, which includes data in different formats like text, video, music, photos, animation, etc. It is beyond the capabilities of a single physical machine to process the large amount of data. In this slide, I'll explain you what are the problems associated with big data. First of all, data is too large. As we have seen in earlier slide, that the amount of data is generated per day is too large. Therefore, processing of the data is difficult. Secondly, high throughput. Large amount of data is generated in every microsecond and millisecond. Thirdly, complexity and heterogeneity of data. Data is generated and collected from different sensors, text, videos, MP3s, photos, etc. For example, in Facebook, data is generated in text, video, MP3, photos, etc. At last, relating and linking. As the data is too large, indexing of the data will be a problem and the time for searching data will be too long. In this slide, I'll explain you why Hadoop is a solution for big data. In traditional way, it is very hard to do parallel processing of large data on hundreds of machines. But through Hadoop, it is possible to do parallel processing. In traditional way, costing is very high as it uses expensive servers and still performance is very low as compared to Hadoop system. For example, to read 1 terabyte of data with single server and 4 input-output channels, having transfer rate of 100 MB per second, it will take 44 minutes to read 1 terabyte of data. But in Hadoop distributed file system, to read 1 terabyte of data with 10 servers and 4 input-output channels, having transfer rate of 100 MB per second, it will take only 4.4 minutes to read 1 terabyte of data. Therefore, we can say that Hadoop is a solution for big data problems. What is Hadoop? Hadoop consists of three keywords to form its definition, that is, distributed processing, community computers, and a simple programming model. Distributed processing by SDFS community computers are non-enterprise servers and a simple programming language through MapReduce. It is an open source Apache framework which allows the parallel processing of large amount of data with a cluster of community computers using single programming model. Here I will explain you about the comparison between Hadoop and other systems. For distributed data model, computing model is transaction and for Hadoop is jobs. Data model for distributed database are structured data with known schemas. For example, telephone directory. And data model for Hadoop are semi-structured and unstructured data. For example, text, data from sensors, social media, videos, photos, etc. Cost model for distributed database are expensive servers and cost model for Hadoop are cheap commodity machines. Fault tolerance in distributed database failure are rare and have recovery mechanism. Fault tolerance in Hadoop is simple yet efficient fault tolerance. Key characteristics of distributed database are efficiency, optimization, and fine-tuning. And for Hadoop are scalability, flexibility, and fault tolerance. Here fault tolerance means if there is a failure in the data node, even then we can retrieve the data from other data nodes, which is located on the different racks. Racks are the collection of data nodes. In this slide, I'll explain you about the various components in the Hadoop ecosystem. SDFS, used to distribute the data in file system. MapReduce, it is a programming model used for computation processing of large data. HCatalog provides some metadata and table management layer for Hadoop. It also makes it much easier for Pig, MapReduce, and Hive user to share data. Pig, it is a high-level platform for creating MapReduce program. Hive, a query language similar to SQL. HBase, a non-relational database designed for use with Hadoop. Uzi. Uzi is a server-based workflow engine specialized in running workflow jobs. Zookeeper keeps all the parts coordinated and working together. Here I will explain you about the components of Hadoop. Hadoop provides a framework to process large data sets using a computing cluster made from normal commodity hardware. The two major components of Hadoop are HDFS, that is Hadoop Distributed File System, and MapReduce. Hadoop Distributed File System, it splits the large file onto multiple computers. It has name node, that is master, and data node for storage of data, that is slave. N number of data node can be in one rack, and rack is a collection of data node. MapReduce. It is used for processing of large data stored on file system. It has job tracker and task tracker. Job tracker assigns the job to the task tracker. In this slide, I have shown why industry should go for big data. As this graph shows that in 2015, 80% of the data will be uncertain because the number of network devices will be double the entire population. Also, the number of social media will exceed, and which will be very difficult to process using traditional method. At the end of 2015, there will be approximately more than 8,000 exabytes of data will be generated, in which only 20% will be structured and rest 80% will be unstructured. That is why we should focus on big data processing. Here I will be explaining you why big data is important. It improves the efficiency of the process by distributing the file. Therefore, the processing is fast. Increase sales by targeting the particular segment of customer and manage competitive pricing of the product. Better consumer service based on their demands and needs of the customer. Improve product quality based on the feedback of the user. Industries using big data. These are the business areas where unstructured data is generated in large volume. Thus, industries are using big data to know the insights of the data. For example, retail, healthcare, financial service, advertising, energy, government, etc. are using big data. This slide explains you how much industries are spending and what percentage they are earning, that is ROI from big data. For example, in retail sector, the spending was $5 million and the return on investment is 36.4%. Similarly, in health sector, expenditure was $4.7 million and ROI is 35.3%. From this, we can conclude that every industry should invest in big data to gain more profit. In this slide, I have shown the revenue incurred during the year 2013. From this graph, the service sector has shown the tremendous revenue generation of 40%, that is $7,393 million. Hardware revenue generation is 38%, that is $7,149. And for product revenue generation is 22%, that is $4,117 million. From this pie chart, we can analyze that in which sector we have to focus to start the business. That is all from my end. In case of any query and additional information, you can reach out to the mentioned email address or post a query on the official website.